Hi, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel Behind the Scenes in Health with Dr. Ron. If you're new here, my name is Ronald and I talk about everything healthcare. And you guys know how we do it on this channel. I highlight interesting career options for professionals, discuss trending topics and every exciting stuff. So if that's what you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button, share this channel with your family and friends, and yeah, let's dive into today's conversation. So I'm going to talk about the career option called medical illustration. Now, I put out a tweet the other day on X, formerly Twitter, and a couple of persons asked me to make a video or talk about medical illustration, and here we are today. So I'm going to talk about what it is, how you're going to get in there, what are the salary expectations, where you can work, and what the career prospects look like. So I just want to take a pause, subscribe to the channel, then keep watching. Right, so let's dive into the conversation. So what's medical illustration? It's basically a specialized field that involves creating visual representation of very complex medical and scientific information, and you're trying to communicate very complex, intricate concepts to break it down through visual representation for diverse audiences, which include healthcare professionals, patients, and students. So you're catering to a broad range of audience or people who consume your information. Now, what are the requirements of getting into medical illustration? Typically, most people will expect you to have either a bachelor's or master's in medical illustration. So it's quite gonna cost you some money to go back to get a degree in medical illustration, and that's not discounting the fact that it requires a unique blend of artistic talent and a keen eye for detail. Just like in the video where I talked about medical photography, you need to have a very keen eye for details to be able to do this very well. And yep, that's it. Then in terms of artistic proficiency, things around drawing, coloring, painting, digital illustration, right? And understanding of medical terminology is very, very key. So having a healthcare background is really a huge plus for you if you're getting into medical illustration. Skills and certifications, what do you need? Typically, I probably want to talk about software proficiency. Now, there are a lot of apps out there for people to use for illustration and all of that. So you need to be very familiar with design software for illustration and graphic design, such as maybe things like 3D modeling software, Adobe Creative Suite, and other different medical imaging softwares. You might just want to look up a couple of them on the internet. Sometimes some certifications might not be important because you already have a bachelor's or a master's in medical illustration, but you can opt to get things like the certified medical illustrator certification, which adds an extra to your qualifications and probably opens more opportunities for you. Then the key ones that don't require studies is things like attention to detail. Very, very, very important because you need to even capture the tiniest things. Then effective communication, because you're going to be talking to a wide range of stakeholders, so you need to be able to communicate effectively with a whole lot of them. So what are the salary expectations for medical illustrators? It's quite lucrative, and globally your salary depends on where you're located, your skill sets, your years of experience, and what your portfolio looks like. But on the average, we're looking at between $50,000 to about 90 to 100,000 US dollars. Again, this differs. And well, there are job opportunities, and in terms of career options, you can even decide to specialize, niche down to a particular area. Some people say, okay, they're just going to do animation. Some people would probably say they're just going to be surgical illustrators. Some people would just be medical illustrators. So you can actually niche down to wherever your interest lies. Now, where can a medical illustrator work? You have a lot of options as to where you can work or people you can work for or work with. Number one is medical publishing companies. Now, for those who are doctors watching this, the popular Frank Netta will use the medical school to read and study anatomy. So that's medical illustration for you. So you can actually work with medical publishing companies to create those textbooks, journals, and educational materials students typically use. Not just students, even surgeons, those who are practicing full time. They need to revise all of those things. So medical publishing companies are a good place to work. You have hospitals and healthcare institutions. So when you're creating, for example, patient education materials, you need sometimes input from medical illustrators so they can help you collaborate and create those materials. Then you talk about biomedical institutions, they have a role to play. Pharmaceutical and biotech companies, they have a role to play. So these are some of the places a medical illustrator can work. The list is not exhaustive. Now, are there career prospects? Yes, there is really career prospect, like I said before. And another one I missed was virtual reality animation. That's like a new field that is emerging. I'll probably talk about that in another video entirely. And there are a lot of successful medical illustrators out there. So I'm going to tag a couple of channels for you to check out what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how successful they are. And recently, one Nigerian who has come to limelight in medical illustration is call him Chidebere. So hopefully one of these days I'm going to bring him to the podcast to talk about what he's doing. And he's really doing great work, trying to illustrate diseases as they happen in Black people, to reduce the whole racial disparity and all of that. That's a different conversation entirely. But he's really doing great and we're impressed. And yeah, more people should get into medical illustration. Now, lastly, are there associations you can join? You really can't discount or discredit the benefit of belonging to a network of professionals. And that's not different from medical illustration. So you have the Association of Medical Illustration. You can look them up. You have the Guild of Natural Science Illustrators. You can look them up. There are a whole lot of them out there. So just check them up. And if you don't have plenty of money, you can even do the student membership to see what the benefits are, what resources they offer to you, and how you can really benefit from them, right? So that's it for medical illustration. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video to your family and friends and colleagues so that we can keep doing the great work we do on this channel. And until I see you next episode, I still remain your host, Dr. Ron, and I'd like to say bye for now.